Alrighty, so in this video, I want to talk to you about 4 different ways that you can grow your savings so that you have funds to invest in other things and other areas of your life, career, or any other financial goals. So here they are. Number 1, set up automatic savings. Number 2, create an emergency fund. I'll get back to exactly what I mean by that. Number 3, cut back in unnecessary expenses. And number 4, take advantage of any employer contributions that you have. Okay, so those are my top 4. Now let's get started into breaking it down and giving you a little bit more information on each one. So what do I mean by having an automatic savings account transfer? So different institutions offer this, whether it's your bank or your credit union or an online, they'll offer, and it's separate in 2 different ways. I kind of think of it 2 different ways that you can do this. So one is automatically, I know for my different accounts that I have, if I have transferred automatic transfer from my checking account into my savings account for X amount, sometimes it's a minimum of $20, $25, whatever amount it is. If you have that set up so that every 5th of the month, 15th of the month, it automatically goes from your checking to your savings, they'll give you like the savings account for free. Like there's no fee for it. So check and see if your institution, if your bank, credit union offers that. So that's one way in automatic savings. The other way that I would say is some places call it like roll. Like if you spend something for $12.50, they pay the $12.50 for wherever, the store that you went to, and then the remainder, the 50 cents, they roll it into your savings. So automatically, they do that automatically. I have mine set up, and if you do that, a lot of the times, before you know it, you've added, like, you have that buffer account basically funded. So I highly recommend that to see if you have those options. So setting up, it can be if you've never had a savings or you don't feel like you can actually contribute something. I mean, you can start with $1, honestly, but I suggest $25 to $50 or $100 every month. See if you can aim towards doing that, and before you know it, you've got some funds there. Okay, emergency fund. We hear that a lot. Have your emergency. And some people say, oh, have a minimum. Your emergency fund has to be $1,000 or this. I don't actually follow that. I think that your emergency fund, I can talk. I think your emergency fund should be whatever works for you and your comfort zone based on your past history. And don't just have an emergency fund just to have it. Have the account and know what is considered an emergency. Like, 2 to 3 things that you're like, if this were to happen, this is an emergency. So write it out, because if we just have it, then it's like, oh, I got flat tires and I gotta replace my tires in my car. Is that truly an emergency, or is that something you can plan for? And if it's something that you can plan for, then it's a line item in your budget. So kind of be able to differentiate between having what is an emergency and what is something that you can plan for. Like car maintenance is something you can plan for. Let's see. You live in a neighborhood where kids are playing in the summer and a window breaks, so you have to replace that. Then is that an emergency, or is that part of a house fund that you could have. So just really, if you're going to have an emergency fund, really list what the emergency fund is. All right. Unnecessary expenses. This is a big one because it's like, what can you do? And sometimes those unnecessary expenses, they just have to be temporary. If it's the summer and, maybe you're planning on traveling, let's say, do you need to have internet at home for 3 months if you're going to be away most of the summer? If there's no, if there's no fee, if you're like on a month to month with the internet, it's like, cancel that if you're not going to need it, and then, get it back in service once you come back. Things like that. That you don't need. It doesn't have to be permanent. It does not have to be an expense or a subscription, or that you're like, okay, we're canceling it forever. No, just do it for 3-6 months. Save the money, put it towards something, debt, whether it's growing your savings or debt in terms of your credit cards or loans or personal loans, put it towards that. So you do it. It doesn't have to be permanent. It just has to be temporary. See what you can cancel. Or perhaps you eat out less. If you have a tendency of eating out with your friends every Friday, then maybe you don't do it every Friday. Or maybe instead of going out somewhere to eat, you stay in, invite your friends, and hang out that way without eating out, and save you some money there. So there's a lot of things that you can do. All right. Employer contributions. This can be anything from, if they offer, like a 401k match, or another savings plan, or if they do some sort of HSA for the health savings. Medical expenses can quickly add up. So try and see what they offer, what can you contribute, what if they will match. Like if there's some places, some companies that they will match what you contribute up to a certain amount. So then plan for that. Can you make up your contribution from 3 to 4% so that they match it? So any amount of things that that they will contribute. Or maybe look and see if they offer education. Have you been thinking of getting a higher education, going back to college, going back to university, getting a bachelor's or a master's degree? See if they're partnered with a university that you can go. And so you're getting that education paid for or reimbursed by your company. So that's another way of saving. Instead of you having to get student loans or pay for education out of pocket, see what the requirements are and see if that's something you can qualify and apply for. And, get some training, get some education in that will help you in the long run. So those are 4 ways that I think you can slowly start making the process of building savings from different ways. Sometimes we think of growing and it's just like having a savings account and just growing that savings account, but there's different ways of growing that will help you achieve your life, career, and financial goals. So in the comments, let me know what other ways you've done, what other things you've done to break that cycle of constantly being worried of when your next paycheck is coming. My name is Jocelyn, career and financial coach for BH Financial Coaching Services. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you with.